If you've watched any desk setup video, you'll notice that nearly everyone uses the exact same mouse, myself included. And that mouse is the Logitech Mx Master. Now the reason people love using this mouse is it's comfortable, it has an ergonomic shape, it's got a vertical scroll wheel, a side scroll wheel, and it can be connected to multiple devices. It sounds great, but there is one slight problem with the Mx Master mouse, and that's the price. The latest version costs around $100 or £85 for a mouse that's aimed at productivity, and that can be quite expensive. However, what if I told you you could get it for half the price? Well, that's where the Keychron M6 mouse comes in. And if the Keychron M6 can do all the things the Mx Master mouse can do, will people finally stop buying the Mx Master mouse? So let's start with the design of both mouses. Mouses, whatever. I'm not accusing Keychron of copying Logitech, but there are a lot of similarities between the two of them. The M6 mouse has an ergonomic design which is shaped to fit your hand when you're using it. Your thumb rests nicely on the side of the mouse and is generally really comfortable to use. Now if you're left-handed, you're not buying this mouse as it's clearly been designed for those who are right-handed and there's no left-handed option. In terms of colour choices, it's fairly simple. There's a black version and then there's a white version. The black version is literally all black and the white version does have a black vertical scroll wheel, but other than that, it's all white. I've personally bought the black version as I just thought it would go better with my desk setup and I figured it would show less signs of wearing and general usage. M6 has two scroll wheels, a vertical one and a horizontal one, and both of these are made from plastics, although the vertical scroll wheel does have a rubber grippy thing on top of it, and I'd argue this makes it slightly nicer to use. The horizontal scroll wheel on the other hand just has a sort of corrugated plastic top. In terms of the buttons that I can find, the M6 has the left and right mouse buttons, the vertical scroll wheel button, there's the button on top of the mouse, and then there's two buttons on the side of the mouse. There's a noticeable difference when compared to the Logitech Mx Master mouse, however, and that's there's no gesture button on the M6 mouse. This is the button that typically is where your thumb rests on the Logitech Mx Master. I have found that particularly useful in the past, and I'm a bit annoyed it's not got that on the Keychron M6. When you flip the mouse over, there's the connectivity switches, the power switch, and the button which switches the mouse between different devices. Like the Mx Master mouse, it can be connected with up to 3 devices. Now let's compare this with the Mx Master mouse. Obviously the Mx Master mouse is well designed, that's why people keep going back to buy it. It's really comfortable to use and it's designed to fit the shape of your hand, provided you're not left-handed. And it's even angled slightly, so it's almost introducing you to the idea of using a vertical mouse, something that I've never quite gotten around to using. So far, the two mice are sounding pretty similar. The newest 3S version of the Mx Master comes in 2 colours. You've got the graphite version, which I have here, and an apparently pale grey version, which is actually definitely white, is also available. I really like the colour of the Mx Master mouse that I have because it fits well with my desk setup, and because it's a fairly neutral colour, it basically goes with anything. Like the M6, it has 2 scroll wheels, a vertical one and a horizontal one. However, unlike the M6, both of these are made from stainless steel and are really comfortable to use. Back to being similar again, the vertical scroll wheel of both mice has 2 options. You can either use them in precision mode, which is where it'll tick up precisely when you scroll, and you can also use it in freewheel mode, which basically leads to the vertical scroll wheel going as fast as you can to scroll up the page. This is as a result of some electromagnetic technology that I don't quite understand. If you flip the Mx Master mouse over, you'll see that it has an on and off switch on the underside, along with a button which enables you to switch between up to 3 devices. Now the weight difference was one of the first things I noticed when I was comparing each mouse, and the difference is obvious. The Mx Master mouse comes in at 140 grams, whereas the Keychron M6 comes in at 78 grams. It's basically half the weight. Now Keychron are advertising this as a positive, and I suppose it is because it is easier to move, but I actually really like the fact that the Mx Master 3 mouse weighs quite a lot. It makes it feel like a premium product. The M6 on the other hand doesn't feel cheap, but it just feels a little bit plasticky. In terms of the dimensions, the M6 has a height of 50mm, a width of 75.4mm, and a length of 122.5mm. And when compared to the Mx Master Mouse 3, which has a height of 51mm, a width of 84.3mm, and a length of 124.9mm. The two mice aren't noticeably different except for the width, but you're not even going to notice that unless you put them right next to each other. Both mice have different ways they can be connected to the device you're using. Starting with the M6 mouse, it comes with 2 different receivers in the box. So you have a 2.4 GHz USB Type A receiver and a USB Type C receiver. You also have a USB Type C cable. And with all of these, you can just plug them into the device you're using and the mouse is ready to go. It's also connectable to your device via 5.1 Bluetooth connection. Essentially, any way you can think of connecting the M6 mouse to your device, there's probably an option to do that. Logitech, on the other hand, they've simplified their connectivity. The latest Mx Master mouse will connect via Bluetooth, and claims to have an operating distance of 10 meters, although I haven't tried that out. You do also have the option of using the USB bolt receiver which comes with the box, or a USB-C cable. Both of the mice are customizable, and both Keychron and Logitech have their own software to do this. In terms of customizable buttons, for the M6 apparently, according to Keychron's website, the M6 has 10 buttons, but I actually can't find these, and I can't check on Keychron's software either because they haven't released it for Mac yet, and apparently this is the software that's used to allow you to customize all the buttons. But given it's not out yet, I can't test this, and apparently it's coming out in December, but seeing as I'm filming this in December, and there's been no update, who knows when it's actually going to be out. Don't worry though if you're using Windows, because you can download the customization software for Windows, and Keychron have called this the Keychron engine. If you do have this mouse and you are using Windows, let me know how the Keychron engine program is in the comments down below. The MX Master mouse comes with 7 separate buttons which are customizable. You have your standard left and right mouse buttons, your vertical scroll wheel button, the other button on top, you have your left and right buttons on the side, and then you also have your gesture buttons. Unlike Keychron, Logitech have customization software which is available across all operating systems. What I like about the Logitech customization software is it allows you to change what the buttons do for each different app. So each individual app has its own unique mouse setup. So that can be really useful for apps like Final Cut Pro or Microsoft Excel, for example. In terms of battery life, both mice can go for a while without being charged. According to Keychron's website, the M6 can go up to 80 hours. The slight difference is the MX Master mouse. And according to Logitech, apparently it can go without 70 days without being charged. And not only that, but apparently a quick 1-minute charge will actually give the MX Master mouse 3 hours of usage. So there is a bit of a noticeable difference between the M6 mouse and the MX Master. If you're interested in using any of these mice for gaming, then you're going to want to know about the polling rate. And for anyone that isn't typically a gamer, the polling rate is basically how frequently the mouse sends data back to the device it's connected to. Basically, the mouse is telling the computer you're using its position. So for example, a polling rate of 1000 Hz means the mouse has told the device you're using its position 1000 times every second. And that's really important because it helps with the precision of the mouse. Now going back to the M6 mouse, it has a polling rate of 1000 Hz, which is typically what you want if you're using the mouse for gaming. The Logitech Mx Master, on the other hand, has a polling rate of about 125 Hz, which is typically what you'd get for a sort of more productivity mouse or an office-based mouse, and isn't typically used for gaming. Therefore, if you want to use either of these mice for gaming, the M6 is clearly the winner. To answer the original question of is this the end of people buying the MX Master mouse? Well, the short answer is no. Although I do like the Keychron M6, I still prefer the MX Master mouse. It's heavier, it feels a lot more premium, and it's just got more customization options. Yes, it's double the price, but you do notice why it's more expensive as soon as you start using them. And if you use them both in quick succession, you can clearly see why you're going to pay more money for the MX Master mouse. The only time I can see someone really wanting to choose the M6 mouse is when it comes to gaming. Other than that, and if you're happy to pay the price for the MX Master mouse, I'd choose that one every time. But then again, Keychron aren't widely renowned for their mice, they're more widely renowned for their mechanical keyboards. And if you are interested in Keychron's mechanical keyboards, you should check out some of my previous videos where I discuss some of Keychron's most popular low profile keyboards, and I'll link them up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in one of my other videos.